Hello there, YouTubers of the internet. It is Luna Hamster here with a new video. Today I have a treat for you. I dug up some old WordGirl fan fiction that I wrote when I was a teenager, and we're going to be reading it today. This will be part one of the series. There will be a series of videos going over different fan fictions I wrote as a teenager. Thank you, and enjoy the video. Call of a Loved One, Chapter 1. Becky's perspective. Becky was crestfallen to find out from her mother that TJ was in the hospital. Dictionary. Just as my life was getting easier. God must have set high expectations of me, or else he wouldn't have given me these obstacles. I know that God wouldn't give me any trial that I couldn't overcome. Besides, whatever tough challenge I conquer, I become a better being of love. Disgusting. Toby hastily snapped his fingers in an attempt to grab Becky out of her mind. Hey, Becky, remember your brother? Hello? Toby speedily responded by transporting the both of them home with her super speed and flight abilities. Wait, Toby doesn't have super speed. I think someone forgot to write that Becky was the one who did that. Whoops! Idiot passed me. You're a dumbass. 10 minutes later at the hospital, there my brother laid in bed nearly motionless. The only signs that indicated he was still alive was his breathing and the heart monitor's constant beep. Hopefully the heart monitor remained that way, at least until my family members and myself could say goodbye. No. I won't call it goodbye. It's more of a see you later anyway. I wish I could save him from his bedridden state, but it's completely out of my power. The power of life, death, and heaven was at God's fingertips, not my own. Ultimately, God knew when it was our time to arrive and leave the physical world and move on to the next. Wow, that's so bad and cheesy. No. I just wish it wouldn't have to be soon for TJ. The doctors arrived in the depressing atmosphere of the ER, ready to deliver news about TJ's fate. I anxiously, shakily awaited the doctor's evaluation of my brother's health and safety. We conducted medical testing on him right after the Lexinite landed on him. We're not quite sure yet whether or not he will live. The most experienced doctor articulated. We are deeply sorry for this lack of information, nervously muttered the youngest doctor. We will be able to notify you in a week at the very most, informed the most practical doctor. A week won't be fast enough! I super screamed. Both of my adoptive parents scolded me and lectured me about how to behave in a hospital. But I didn't care as long as I could see TJ. TJ woke up perplexed and then went back to sleep. I rushed over to his bedside to tap him to wake him. The parents and doctors were trying to pull me back with all of their strength because of my supernatural powers. No, don't wake him. For his body to recover, your brother needs all the rest he can get, said the 3 doctors. All of the doctors flooded out the door to do some medical testing. I finally had the last straw. I started to sob, hyperventilate, and sunk into the lap of my mom. I don't care if you think I am frail, vulnerable, incompetent superhero. I know I am. My mom placed her hands on my back and began to rub it. I cried out to my Heavenly Father. Why would you let such an accident happen to a pure-hearted young boy? Can you tell that I was very Mormon at the time? I don't know if you could tell. God answered with a comforting embrace and a strong yet soft voice. My daughter, your brother will be fine. As for the reason, time will unravel that. Everyone has a time when they are meant to be in the physical world, and leave to fly in the spiritual realm. Your brother's time cannot be revealed yet. 1 hour later. My sobs gradually became small cries after God delivered my personal revelation. However, it didn't lessen more pain. That's how it's spelled. A U instead of a Y. My mom kept on soothing me with comforting words. Becky, shh, shh. There, Dad. And Bob and I are here for you. Bob is at home. Since monkeys aren't allowed in this hospital. Yeah, monkeys are not allowed in this hospital. Oh my gosh, it's such a funny line. Why did I write it? I should put it on a t-shirt. Monkeys aren't allowed in this hospital. I helplessly replied, Mom! Dad! I feel really weak. Did the doctors sample the Lexinite in this hospital? Yes, they did, Becky. The doctors are bringing it in right now, articulated my dad. Question. Why are they bringing the Lexinite in the hospital room? That's kind of unnecessary. They, usually keep it in the lab, for accidents. They just keep it in the lab. They don't bring it to the people. I guess I just wanted extra drama. Uh-oh. Lexinite is fight only weakness, I mumbled to myself. I guess screaming and crying had exhausted all of my energy, so I decided to rest my eyes for a bit. I quickly shut my eyes and laid on the lap of my mom. My dad was supporting my legs. It's okay, baby. You can take a nap. We'll let you know if anything important happens, whispered my mom. Okay. Okay. Mom, I've got it. Love you, I tiredly remarked. I was sound asleep in a few minutes after that. Sally's POV. Oh, Becky, sweetie pie, I love you too, I sweetly sighed. The doctors arrived with the information and a sample of the Lexinite. After the Lexinite arrived into TJ's hospital room, Becky began to shiver and sleepily whine. No, it hurts. It hurts too much. The doctors came in with the news. All of them said in sync, We are 60% sure he won't make it by the end of this month, and visiting hours are over for today. Jeez, what an asshole. You just drop the news that he's gonna be dead, and then you're like, get out of here. Seriously, what assholes? Sally carried her daughter out of the hospital with her husband. Becky was acting weird around the Lexinite. Oh well, better not tell her my suspicion. My poor, helpless WordGirl is upset that she probably won't see her brother after this month for a long time. I walked with her in my arms out to the car with Tim and placed her into the car seat and buckled her in. Tim, I think our daughter is WordGirl because of how she acted around the Lexinite, I informed my husband. I think you're right, Sally. Well, let's have Becky tell TJ, Tim replied to me. I nodded in response to Tim's suggestion. 30 minutes later. Becky's POV. I awoke from my slumber and immediately felt better than when the doctors were testing the Lexinite in the hospital. Wait, where was she? Becky opened her eyes to realize that she was not in the hospital anymore. She was in the car with her seatbelt on. I frantically asked my mother, How is TJ doing? My mom hesitated to answer me, and my dad cried. We'll tell you, sweetie, when we get home. Where are we going? I inquired in depression. My brother. What happened? What happened, Heavenly Father? Has my brother crossed to the other side of the veil? Oh, that's so bad. Oh, no. Oh, this sounds like the most morbid stuff ever. My Heavenly Father replied to me in his soul-touching voice. Calm down, Becky. Your brother will be okay even if he passes away. He will live with me in peace and happiness when he does pass. When it is the person's time, they'll leave to live a good life with me. That is if they live a good life, though. My daughter, you will live with me when it's your time, and all the other loving beings, including aliens. Ah, great. Is he going to talk about Kolob now? As I was receiving that message, tranquility filled my heart and pumped into my body. Then my dad finally told me, We are going to my dad's home to let him know about TJ's state. Tim's POV. My poor little word girl Becky. I think she may feel guilty for not being able to save him. She is a superhero, after all, but even they make mistakes. Becky could have not been able to control the situation. Lexinite is her weakness. If she did intervene in this accident, I wouldn't have any of my children left for my family. It would just be Sally, Bob, Becky, and him until I can see TJ again. I feel grateful that Becky is okay. At least I have her. I will protect her so she won't slip out of my hands. Becky's prayer that was answered immediately is realistic, despite its obscurity. I've had prayers that were answered immediately. Sorry this is not very long. Please follow to be notified of an update if you're interested. If you want to read more from me, check out my fanfiction titled Just a Dream. Please don't forget to review. I might mention you. That was the notes for Chapter 1. Alrighty, we're on Chapter 2. A few days later, on a Saturday morning, Sally's perspective, my phone rang crazily. Hopefully it's good news from the hospital that our family has been waiting for. I need it to be good news, for the sake of my family and I, especially my daughter Becky. Please, God, help my son and my family from suffering any further. I hastily grabbed the phone and answered it. Narrator's perspective. Hello, this is the Fair City Hospital regarding the well-being of your son, TJ Boxford, said a hospital employee. How is TJ? Sally nervously mumbled. That is why we needed your assistance, the medical professional solemnly spoke. Why can't you tell me what's up over the phone? Sally said. It is because it's classified medical information, and our medical staff feel it's best if you and your family see him, the hospital employee answered. Tim's perspective. My wife yelled urgently, We need to go to the hospital right now for TJ. It's important. Calm down, Sally. What about Bob? I inquired. You'll be okay, right, Bob? Sally hollered anxiously. Bob nodded his head in agreement to the question. He had always been a responsible and mature monkey. Oh, that's so bad. It's funny, though. A responsible and mature monkey. Because that's something that you would think is in the same sentence as the other. I wish we were in the scenario we're in. I didn't have to wake Becky from her slumber because of this. Hopefully everything will get better soon. Whatever happens, I know we'll see each other again. I didn't want to break my already fragile heron's soul. Bob, will you wake Becky up for me? I asked the obedient little monkey. Man, I use the word little a lot in this fanfic. Narrator's perspective. Bob walked out of the living room, opened the door to Becky's room, and walked to her bedside. Bob squeaked at Becky to wake her up. Becky immediately woke up and changed out of her pajamas, ran into the living room, then out to her car. Okay, these are the end chapter notes. Sorry for the short chapter again. Please don't complain about that in the reviews. Thank you for reading this, and please review. A new chapter will come soon. I might even write a sequel if I get enough interest. I left it on a cliffhanger. I'm just joking around. What will happen next? Stay tuned to find out. Chapter 3. There's another author's note at the beginning. I have reached the home stretch of this book. This is the final chapter. Please review. Thank you, everyone, for reading. Becky's Perspective. Chapter 3. My parents and I walked into the blank emotionless hospital. I sat in the waiting room, hoping for improvement in my brother's health while my parents checked us in. No matter how annoying he may be, I love him endlessly. God, please help my brother. Let his soul be in peace wherever he might go. I promise he will be at peace and intertwined in my love, God whispered into her soul. At least I'll know he'll be loved wherever he goes. I was soon interrupted by the faint sound of my parents' footsteps. I stood up from the hard wooden chair and looked at my parents with great concern. We strolled along the excruciatingly, seemingly interminable hallways. My parents and I all glanced at each other with hints of perturbation shining through our outwardly calm manner. In TJ's hospital room. As we stepped into TJ's room, dozens of doctors and nurses surrounded my brother's body. My dad's facial features shattered into a somber expression. My mother shed a fountain of tears. Really? A fountain of tears? Oh my gosh, that's what a terrible, terrible line. I remained silent and still. Was this how my brother had to pass? No, it couldn't be. It just couldn't be. Finally, one of the doctors spoke. I'm sorry, Boxerweed family. There's nothing else we can do to help TJ. His health deteriorates with every breath he takes. He's currently on life support as we speak, and heavy painkiller. When do you want to pull the plug? Maybe he can be with us just for one more night, or he can have a surgery or do some other medical procedure to extend his life. Please! I said in desperation to the doctor. My parents hugged me as I cried out for my brother to be better. There is nothing that can be done about your brother's state. I'm sincerely sorry, the doctor replied in a monotone voice. Let's pull the plug after we say our goodbyes, my parents said in unison. No! It's all my fault! I yelled in anger and regret. A few minutes later, after I settled down, I love you, TJ, and have a lovely time in the afterlife. Please don't forget about us, TJ, I mumbled between my sobs. I love you, TJ. Please take care of my relatives. See you later, my mom cried with misty eyes. I love you, TJ. Remember, neither death nor darkness will ever separate our love and bond for one another, my dad said tearfully. And that's the end of the terrible fanfic. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a nice rest of your day, and goodbye.